You know that feeling right before a traditional job interview?
Oh, yeah. The uncomfortable clothes, sitting in a quiet waiting room.
Exactly. And you're mentally rehearsing that perfect, safe answer to the classic question, like, what is your greatest weakness?
Right, right. I mean, it is such a social performance. You're trying to project confidence and, you know, charm the hiring manager.
Yeah, but then we look at the modern reality of applying for AI training platforms,
Yeah.
specifically data annotation.
It is a completely different world.
It really is. That whole social performance just completely vanishes. There's no recruiter to charm. It basically transforms into an anonymous, quiet, cognitive stress test.
That is a great way to put it. You are just sitting alone at your computer. The system does not care about your firm handshake.
No, not at all.
Uh,
Appears if you can, identify a logical mistake in a paragraph that a machine just wrote.
Which is a huge shift in how we evaluate talent. You really cannot smile your way through this kind of assessment.
And that brings us to our mission for today's look at the source material. We want to guide you, the listener, through the data annotation assessment.
Because it is known for being pretty rigorous.
Right. So we pulled practical insights from platform FAQs and applicant reports to help you understand exactly what to expect.
And we want to keep this really friendly and calm. Understanding how the test works takes away a lot of the anxiety.
Exactly. So let's lay the groundwork. Data annotation is basically a platform where independent contractors are paid to train AI models.
Yes. And depending on your role, the pay can range from maybe $20 an hour up to $100 or more per hour.
Which is pretty significant. And the tasks cover a huge range, right? Like creative writing or comparing different AI chatbots.
Or even advanced programming in really specialized fields like law or medicine.
So the big question is, why does this assessment matter so much?
Well, we have to remember how these AI models work. They are incredibly smart, sure, but they are just predicting the next word.
Right. They don't actually understand what they are saying.
Exactly. So the platform isn't hiring you to do basic data entry. They are hiring you to be a filter for human judgment.
Because if the AI is already smart, they need evaluators who have better critical thinking and reasoning than the AI currently does.
Yeah, you basically become the editor. You have to catch the mistakes that the automated systems miss.
Okay, so to find those editors, the platform uses a very specific assessment process. What exactly are they testing for?
They are looking for a few core skills. Crystal clear writing, incredibly careful reading, and relentless fact-checking.
In following instructions, right?
Oh, absolutely. The absolute discipline to follow dense, multi-step instructions perfectly. And sometimes, depending on the role, coding skills too.
I do want to mention something about the time limit for the initial assessment. The platform might say to set aside about an hour.
Yeah, a lot of people see that and panic.
Right. But looking at the applicant reports, an hour seems really fast for what they actually want you to do.
It is. That advertised time is really just a guideline. The actual priority is accuracy, not speed.
So you shouldn't rush.
No, please don't rush. Many successful applicants report taking much longer, sometimes 2 or 3 hours.
Wow. Okay. So treat it more like an open book research exam. Take your time, verify everything.
Exactly. Because if you artificially rush yourself just to finish in 60 minutes, you will probably miss a small detail.
That makes a lot of sense. So let's talk about the actual tasks. I think it gets really interesting when we look at a mini practice example.
Oh, I love these. Let's do it.
And just to be completely clear, this is not an official question from data annotation. It is just a simple practice role play.
Right, just to show how the logic works.
So imagine the user prompt given to the AI is really simple. Quote, set a meeting reminder for this weekend at 2 p.m., end quote.
Okay, pretty straightforward.
Now we have two AI responses to compare. Response A says, I have set a reminder for Saturday at 2 p.m.
Got it.
And response B says, I have set a reminder for 1 p.m. 3 days from now.
Oh, boy.
So how would you break down those two outputs as an evaluator?
Well, let's look at response A first. The prompt asked for this weekend at 2 p.m. Response A chose Saturday at 2 p.m.
Which works. Right, Saturday is the weekend.
Exactly. It satisfies the weekend condition, and it got the 2 p.m. time constraint perfectly right.
Okay, but what about response B? That one said 1 p.m. 3 days from now.
Response B is a mess for a couple of reasons. First, the prompt asked for 2 p.m., and the AI gave 1 p.m. That is an automatic failure of a direct constraint.
Right, it just failed the most basic instruction.
But the second issue is actually worse. Saying 3 days from now assumes that we know what day today is.
Oh, I see. It brings in outside context.
Exactly. If the user submits this prompt on a Tuesday, well, 3 days from now is Friday, and Friday is not the weekend.
Wow. So the AI assumed the current day, and you just cannot allow that.
Right. If we train an AI to assume the current day without verifying it, we are basically teaching it to guess. You have to evaluate strictly based on the text provided.
So response A is the clear winner here.
Without a doubt, you have to read the text very carefully, almost like a machine, but judge it using human logic.
And even knowing this, highly educated people still struggle with this assessment. So let's talk about why. Let's look at the common traps.
The biggest trap, without question, is rushing. Like we mentioned earlier.
People just assume they need to show how fast they can work.
Yeah, and rushing leads directly to ignoring constraints, which is fatal on this platform.
I actually have a simple analogy for this. The instructions are basically a baking recipe.
Oh, the cake analogy. I really like this one.
Right. So if a recipe tells you to bake a chocolate cake, but explicitly says, do not use salt, and you bake the most beautiful, delicious cake in the world.
But you added a pinch of salt.
Exactly. That cake goes in the trash. Doesn't matter how great your writing is. If they ask for exactly 2 sentences and you write a brilliant 3-sentence paragraph,
Your cake goes in the trash. You failed the negative constraint.
it is really strict.
It has to be. The AI models struggle with negative constraints, like do not use a certain word. So they need human evaluators to strictly enforce those rules.
Which flows into the next major trap, which is trusting the AI too much.
Oh, the confident liar phenomenon.
Yes. The AI speaks with absolute authority. It uses perfect grammar, big words. It sounds so sure of itself.
It will confidently explain the history of a battle that literally never happened.
And if you are rushing, you might just nod and agree because it sounds true.
Exactly.
Huh.
You have to assume everything the AI says is false until you can verify it yourself with an external search. Fact-checking is everything.
And speaking of fact-checking, there is one more big trap. Using AI to cheat on the assessment.
Oh, please do not do this.
People actually copy the prompts, paste them into ChatGPT, and submit that as their answer.
Which completely defeats the purpose of the test. They are testing your human reasoning. If you submit AI text, you are just giving them the AI back.
Plus, they have tools to detect that, right?
Oh, absolutely. They have internal models specifically designed to catch AI syntax. Trying to use AI to get an AI training job is not going to end well.
Okay, so we know what not to do. Don't rush. Follow the recipe, don't trust the AI, and definitely don't cheat.
Right. Those are the big ones.
But how should you prepare? What is the best way to structure your answers when you have to explain your reasoning?
For the written parts, many successful applicants swear by the PEEL method. P-E-E-L.
Okay, PEEL. Walk us through that.
It stands for point, evidence, explanation, link. It is a really simple way to organize your thoughts exactly how a grader wants to read them.
So it keeps your writing clear and focused. Let's break down the 4 steps.
First is point. You state your main argument clearly in the first sentence, like, response A is better because it followed all instructions.
Simple and direct. Then comes evidence.
Right. Evidence is where you give a direct quote or specific detail, like the prompt asked to avoid the word delve, but response B used it.
Okay, so you proved your point. What's next?
Explanation. You explain why that evidence matters. You'd say, by using the forbidden word, response B failed the instruction, while response A followed it safely.
And the final step is link.
Yes, link. You just tie it all back to the main goal. Therefore, response A is the safer and more helpful choice.
That is so structured, it strips away all the extra fluff.
Exactly. You aren't writing a creative essay. You are showing them you can logically apply the rules.
Okay, so imagine someone has done all of this. They found a quiet environment, read the instructions twice, fact-checked everything, used the PEEL method, and hit submit.
That is a great feeling.
But then what happens? We need to talk about what happens after
The waiting game. This is where you need some patience.
What should people realistically expect regarding a timeline?
Well, we have to use careful wording here because it really varies. You may hear back in a few days.
Okay, that's not too bad.
But depending on the role and platform demand, it can also take several weeks.
And what if it's been weeks and you hear absolutely nothing? Your dashboard hasn't changed at all.
Many applicants report that indefinite silence generally means you did not pass. They usually only contact the successful candidates.
That makes sense. It's tough, but it's better to know that reality.
Exactly. Just direct your energy elsewhere if it's been a long time.
But let's say you do pass. Are there any logistics to be aware of before you start working?
Yes, a very important one. Identity and location verification. You cannot use a VPN while taking the test or working on the platform.
Because they need to know your real location for security and project rules.
Right. Masking your location could lead to an account suspension. You have to play it straight.
Good to know. And we should also give a quick reminder about taxes and being a contractor, right?
Yes, just very briefly. Passing the assessment makes you a 1099 independent contractor, not an employee.
Meaning you handle your own local taxes and there are no traditional benefits.
Exactly. It offers great flexibility, but you are responsible for your own admin work.
And the work itself isn't a permanent guarantee either, is it?
No, task availability may vary based on demand. And your work is continuously evaluated, so you have to keep your quality high every time you log in.
The job really is just the test, repeated over and over again.
That's the reality of it. Careful reasoning is what keeps the projects coming.
Well, we have covered a lot of really practical ground today. We completely reframed the data annotation assessment. It is not a social interview at all.
No, it is a demanding cognitive test where you have to be the human filter for AI.
We looked at the skills they test: careful reading, clear writing, and instruction following. And we went over the common mistakes, like rushing and trusting the AI's confident lies.
And we gave you the Peel method to help explain your reasoning clearly.
Plus, we talked about the realities of waiting for a response and the whole independent contractor side of things.
Right. It does not guarantee instant projects, but preparing carefully definitely helps your chances.
So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you, the listener, with something to think about.
It's an important takeaway, honestly.
What stands out to you about this whole process? Does hearing how carefully these AI models need to be fact-checked change how you view the AI tools you use every single day?
It really makes you think. And here's a final thought. Even if you never take this specific assessment, the skills it demands are so important right now.
Yeah, like questioning assumptions and fact-checking text. That sounds really confident.
Exactly. Communicating clearly and verifying facts, those are just practical survival skills for navigating our modern internet.